Big ups for everyone on here that is listening to the Boxing Source midweek report. Here we are, July 17th, 2024. And it looks like we got like a number of topics that we're going to be talking about here in this particular midweek report, right? I mean, it's been a it's been a very busy couple of days. Wouldn't you say? We got a number of things that have been happening within the sport of boxing. I know that there's some fights that are coming up here this weekend. I know that there's something going down over in Tampa, Florida this weekend. I know that you're going to have Junta Nagatani defending his world title against Vincent Ashalabio this weekend. But we got some things here that we're going to try to tackle and clear up in reference to two particular fighters in the lightweight division, man. And you know what? I want to have one guy that has come pretty much like been on the show here for a little bit. That is definitely been talking in reference to Shakur Stevenson. I'm going to bring him on here a bit. Big ups to brother Tim Layton, Just Boxing Talk. Yeah, of course, we had the thing there last weekend over in Philadelphia, the meet and greet in Philadelphia, man. I was able to swing through there, before the fight started there for Boots Ennis there. So big ups to Tim Layton, man. That I was able to, go ahead and show up and be able to meet you there, man. That was a good event there, you know what I'm saying, to, meet up with the folks there with Just Boxing Talk and all of that. Hopefully we have another instance where we do have a meetup like that. All right, I want to bring in my guy, of course, from Three Kings Boxing. It's the ugly dude.
What's good, fam? What's good? What's good?
Yo, what's happening with you, man? What's happening?
Man, nothing, man. Just multitasking, man. I just seen your message, man. So, I hopped in a couple of weeks. I had to bless with my presence.
Word. I mean, of course, people are still, reacting to what had been going on a couple of weeks ago when it came to the fight card in Newark. Headlined by Shakur Stevenson versus Artem Harutyunyan. There's been, a number of things going back and forth in reference to Shakur Stevenson, and a lot of people, whether it was like Timothy Bradley or like Andre Ward or Andre Berto or Cameron Mace. And now it's looking like some things have kind of turned up in reference to, some fighters that have been, around or about his particular circle. I'm seeing here if I could, try to pull this up. Can't necessarily get the direct source of it because they didn't really, post where the source was, because I know it's looking like it's coming from a video that was part of an interview, but they wouldn't necessarily, cite the particular interview. And I don't like that because, I want to go ahead and, cite the person that basically had, done an original interview. So I wanted to pull it up here. Of course, this is your young man there in the featherweight division, Bruce Carrington, is a contender there in the featherweight division currently. And in this interview, he had a couple of things to say in reference to Shakur Stevenson's performance against Artem Harutyunyan in Newark. So I'm going to.
I expected more from Shakur in terms of his offense. I've seen more from him. That's why people were kind of upset at how he performed. I expected more from him. Everybody expected more from him, and I just feel like at this point, man, if you're fighting at a certain level of type of guys in your hometown, why not show up for the fans, bro? Why not like take some chances and whatnot? That's what I would do, honestly. And you see what I am able to get out of it when I do take those risks.
And that is basically what they had in reference to Bruce Carrington. That was just part of the interview that they had with him, where he was talking about what he saw there from Shakur Stevenson against Artem Harutyunyan. And I think we kind of like compared maybe his performance that he had over in New York City, where he was able to get a stoppage victory there and kind of said like, you know what, I want to go ahead and go in there and take chances and do these things in order to, not just try to get the victory, but to get a stoppage victory and just please the fans with the definitive finish. And so that pretty much sparked up, of course, Stevenson going off on Twitter, man, and oh my goodness, it was just crazy back and forth between Shakur Stevenson and Bruce Carrington in reference to that. And the thing about it is, it's like one thing is one thing to kind of talk about, or basically just give an assessment, basically give an assessment of a person's performance, right? But when Bruce Carrington did that, it's like, man, it's almost like you getting them started up, basically. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I was gonna see if I could. What is it? Well, well, it looked like Bruce Carrington had like deleted a couple posts.
Yeah, of course. Twitter
Yeah,
dudes are known for that.
yeah. So I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna go off of. I'm gonna go off of what Shakur said in reference to the response of that particular video that I posted. So I'm gonna see if I could go ahead and share that. So I'm gonna see if I can run that one. Shout out to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and Boy. Salute to you, man, for being in the building here. So let me see here what we got. Yeah, I want to go ahead and share this particular thing where Shakur Stevenson had made this particular post. Talk about like Bruce is like tweaking or something like that. He said that his head got big, off of beating, I guess, a couple guys that may not have been anywhere close to Bruce Carrington's level. So
That's crazy, man.
That's basically what he said in reference to that. So I mean, it's kind of been going back and forth there. That was from what, 5 hours ago or something like that. Yeah, about 6 hours ago. And that's the thing about it, so they've been going back and forth about it. You got a guy there that's a WBC lightweight champion, and you got Bruce Carrington that's going to try to be a contender there in the featherweight division, where Shakur Stevenson had already been a WBO featherweight champion. So it's like it's crazy, with these two, because they were within the same promotional company or same promotional banner. But like, at least for me, it's something where Shakur Stevenson is receiving some constructive criticism maybe, and here he goes again, just going off of that. But I don't know. I think it might lead to something there for Shakur Stevenson if he's able to play this right. But what do you think about it there, Zoe?
I think, first of all, the Bruce Carrington thing, him going at Bruce Carrington was out of pocket. As a Shakur fan, that's out of pocket. Like, it's constructive criticism. Well, I think the deeper thing to it, I think Shakur is either doing one or two things. Either A, he's just going in at all top rank employees, because let's face it, like, I'm not saying everything he's saying is right, but some of the things that's coming from these top rank people is just coming out just because he's not with top rank anymore. You feel me? Like, showing the people leave. Tim Bradley suddenly out of nowhere talk about, I don't know if he has enough dog to fight Tank. Nigga, you never said that before. You feel me? So I can see how Shakur could look at any criticism that comes from somebody attached to top rank as just, as a bigger conspiracy. The other thing is, I think he might be doing is what I want him to do. The other thing I think he might be doing is he just realized, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all want the villain? Fuck it. You feel me? I'ma just piss everybody off. You feel me? I don't care if it makes sense. I'm gonna just get at it with everybody and just see how it goes. You feel me? That's what I think. That's what the other alternative thing I think he might be doing. He might just be his way of marketing himself. I'm gonna make you guys hate me so much. I'm gonna come watch this shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much, what I'm looking at with the plan with Shakur Stevenson. But the thing about it is like even before he left Top Rank, there were a number of people that didn't necessarily like Shakur
But
Stevenson.
here's the thing: after every fight, the criticisms get worse, but his numbers end up being better than they was prior.
When it comes to the ESPN viewerships.
Yeah. So in some weird, ingenious way, this shit is working. What he needs to do in his next fight, when the crowd start booing, he needs to play into it. He needs to stick his tongue out, put his hands in the air, and get the crowd so fucking pissed off they can't wait to see you get knocked. He needs to go deep. He needs to lead all into this shit. And there's
Yeah,
money in that.
yeah. But my thing about it was with this last fight, it kind of, didn't, I don't think it really like worked because you're there, you're in your hometown where you had, successful drawings as far as like, crowds and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's your home crowd. You want to play to your home crowd. So why are you going in there, with your, boxing trunks and you got, Twitterson on the back of them? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of play to the crowd that's not necessarily there in the building. Those are supposed to be your folks.
Like, did you see?
Right?
Did you see what he posted on Twitter yesterday?
No. Let me see.
He posted a tweet of Majin Vegeta, and he said, "This is my favorite character."
Okay, so maybe he's trying to, get
Yeah.
particular mode.
Yeah, just a glimpse into his psyche. He posted that yesterday. He said, "This is my favorite character," just into the psyche of what he is, man. And that M in his forehead might stand for Mayweather.
It could. I mean, we kind of, we kind of said that, we kind of said that maybe that could be the route there for Shakur Stevenson. That he could end up, being with Mayweather Promotions, alongside Richard Schaefer, there who just opened their offices over in California. I think it's Los Angeles, something like that. But I'm really interested to seeing like what Shakur Stevenson does here within the next couple of weeks because they had already put on the order for Shakur Stevenson to face William Zepeda, for that WBC belt. Now, as far as like, the whole thing with William Zepeda, I'm not all too sure if they're going to, fully, commit to trying to go after Shakur Stevenson.
I saw
But
Zepeda posted something about him fighting Shakur, and then a couple minutes later it was deleted. So I'm gonna assume Oscar called him and said, "Cut that shit out."
well, yeah, I mean, you could, yeah, that's one thing, but also you had the same Oscar De La Hoya talking about, oh, William Zepeda is a bad man because he's the top, contender for all four belts. So, he could try to go for the smoke against, all of those guys or whatever it is. But
Wait, question: Dennis Berinc, whatever his name is he signed with Top Rank? Is he an exclusive Top Rank fighter?
I'm not sure if he's fully committed to Top Rank, but let's see. But the thing about it is like part of the rumor mill that I posted was in reference to what Golden Boy and Williams Zepeda's potential route is. You know what I'm saying? But initially it looked like they were gonna try to go for that WBC lightweight title with Shakur Stevenson. But with Shakur Stevenson being a free agent and already had his initial offer basically to re-sign with Top Rank, it's like, okay, he's looking for a $3 million plus deal per fight or guarantee per fight, right? And what I was hearing is that Oscar may have had some word with some people within Top Rank in reference to Shakur Stevenson and that he, got the ear as far as like what Shakur may be looking for. And that's why people saw what Oscar posted when it came to the fight with William Zepeda, saying that, hey, if Shakur Stevenson, wants that, basically had that fight with William Zepeda, we want a multi-fight deal, So I don't know if that kind of like, went forward or whatever it is. But as of right now, it's almost looking like, well, if that's the price tag that Shakur Stevenson is currently asking for, then they need something more concrete with Shakur Stevenson instead of just saying a one and done type of fight with William Zepeda. Because think about it. If you got a fighter in Shakur Stevenson where you say, okay, maybe Zepeda does pull off a win against Shakur Stevenson, but if he doesn't, at least I'm able to secure Shakur Stevenson for a couple more fights. One, on that instance of being able to build potential bigger fights out there, but two, I don't want him on a one and done when I'm not fully confident that I'll be able to make all the money that I need to make, for that one fight against William Zepeda. Let me see if I could get my other brother in here from Four Corners Boxing. He was out there in Philadelphia last weekend also for the Boots fight. Fight Night Mo is in the building. What's happening?
What's going on, my brother? Peace and blessings to you guys.
What's good, fam? What's good?
What up? What up? What up? Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing that I'm trying to look for with Shakur Stevenson is he going to, have that route where he might fight Zepeda next, or is he going to necessarily wait it out? Because I had actually brought that up yesterday on War Week Radio with the Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields there, and I kind of mentioned it's like, is Shakur Stevenson going to wait it out to see what happens with Tank versus Lomachenko before having this next fight, or see if he has a fight in the interim, before the end of the year? That's the thing that I'm looking for. But
Stay busy.
on if he's going to either sign long term with somebody or try his luck, because that WBC negotiation or whatever it is, if they post it and they give us a date for a purse bid and the negotiations go ahead and lapse until that particular date, that's when I'm going to look for, okay, how much is Shakur Stevenson worth for a fight against William Zepeda? That's what I was going to look for.
How much do you think it might be worth? And upward of $5 million in the purse bid?
But here's the thing though, with the purse bid though, you're going off of the percentages for WBC champion and a mandatory challenger. So you got to look at it as, okay, what's the WBC mandatory split? You
have to look. You have to look at the value of what both guys bring to the table. At the end of the day, Shakur is a bigger name than William Zepeda because of the accolades that he's done in the boxing world so far. William Zepeda, I'm not too convinced on him right now. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people are riding with him. I'm not too convinced on him. But at the end of the day, it's all based on what. In order for Shakur to get that fight, we've already heard De La Hoya saying, in order for my guy to fight you for this title and get this shot and make some good money, you got to sign to my brand for X amount of fights. Now that's locking him in. We've seen a couple of fighters like Ryan Garcia, he's locked in a couple of fights with De La Hoya. Then you got Devin Haney where he went from top rank, then he jumped, then he became the free agent. So he was able to do like those 2-fight, 3-fight type deals, free agency kind of style things.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be based on Shakur. Shakur got some, I won't say a lot of options, but he's got some options. And if he goes the De La Hoya route, okay, you lock in with De La Hoya, let's say a 3-fight deal. You fight William Zepeda, right? Mm-hmm. Who else after William Zepeda can you offer me?
Exactly.
Who else can you put in there that is going to be worth my my time and worth me getting to the pinnacle of making money. Because at the end of the day, now Shakur says he's chasing greatness. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Shakur is really going after legacy as much anymore. I think he's going after paydays. And you gotta remember his mindset is probably changing a little bit as well. With him being a father now, soon to probably be husband, because I know he's engaged to his longtime girlfriend. So he's looking at livelihood for longevity. Yeah,
He's not
like
married
Floyd
to her
say.
yet.
Hmm? What
He ain't
was that,
married
my
to her
brother?
yet. He's not married to her yet.
Nah, they were engaged. He proposed to her a couple of fights back. I
Yeah,
think it was
the
the
Jamal Herring
Oscar.
fight. The Jamal
I think
Herring.
I think it was the Oscar
That was
Valdez
awesome.
fight that he proposed to her, or maybe the fight before that.
Yeah,
I know it was around there.
I think it might have been a Jamal Herring fight. I think.
Yeah. So he's looking at longevity because he's not gonna be in. He don't want to be in this game forever. So he's looking at what can I do to make my revenue last for a long period of time. And
Yeah,
now it's about the big fights. But then on the other end, now you got him. You got Floyd in his ear. Now if he climbs with Floyd, you'll get the mega fight where it'll be fighter versus fighter and CEO versus fighter and CEO, where you got Shakur and Mayweather versus Tank and Leonard Ellerbe. That will make a big story. It'll make a big case, and you will have a lot of people tuned in.
And and then both people know how to talk shit. Well, Shakur even is talk his shit talking about annoy people. It still get people tuned in.
Yeah,
yeah,
Shakur's gonna talk his stuff. Tank's gonna talk his stuff. They both come from a history where Tank knows him when he used to come to Baltimore to train. So they can bring up stories about each other if it gets to that situation. We're not saying it will get to that where it has to be brought up, bringing up, sparring dirt and real dirt on each other. But
hmm
that will make a good story. And at the end of the day, we know drama sells, and
yeah,
sparks sell in the
Yeah.
entertainment game. This is the entertainment. So those are the two options. Then you look at Eddie Hearns. To me, right now, I'm gonna be honest. Eddie Hearns is the best promoter in boxing right now
Huh?
because of the fact of what he's putting out with the people, with his fighters. He's out here promoting. He's making his guys active. And Shakur was talking to Eddie in Philly this past weekend. They crossed paths. They had a little couple minutes conversation, and Shakur did say he is the best in the game. Shakur put that out there. Eddie's the best in the game, and he winked at Eddie, and he said we'll definitely talk. So if I was to say, I would say Eddie is the top runner right now
mm,
to draw Shakur's interest because of the stable of fighters that he got.
What's
You know
it?
what I'm
Andy
saying?
I don't know about
Cruz,
that.
Floyd Schofield. What is
I
it?
don't know about that. No, I think
Nope.
Floyd Schofield is with Golden Boy.
Oh, okay,
Floyd is
so
with
yeah.
Yeah,
Floyd is with Golden Boy, but you got
So he got Andy
also
Cruz. What he got at 135? The Andy Cruz.
Andy Cruz.
What
he's got
Jojo Diaz? Like what? The like Andy Cruz is not. He's not ready yet.
he's got Andy Cruz. That's one prospect, but I don't think Shakur will be fighting him. I think
Yeah.
Shakur would. I think that Andy Cruz will be somebody that eventually will take on Shakur. I mean, take on Keyshawn Davis based on their history. But then you got to remember, if he wants to become that guy to make that money, Eddie could send him over to overseas because the UK loves boxing. You don't have to fight the biggest name over there. He just got to fight somebody that's going to be able to compete, and UK will come out for him. So he's got
Who,
options. These are
who
just
in
these are just
UK can
Yeah.
hypotheticals.
Who in UK can
These,
Thing
compete?
about it is though, I mean, my thing about it with the whole thing with Matchroom is, um, given that particular card itself, it had two fighters that had just signed with Matchroom Boxing, and Jerome Boots Ennis and Jaleel Major Hackett. And in both of those cases, they basically said that, hey, Eddie was able to, give us a plan of where we have like a 3-fight plan, basically, to where we say, hey, we get this fight, then at this particular date we're gonna shoot for this fight, and then another date we get this fight. So they basically had it to where they're secure to having fights.
and
Me,
that's the thing.
sure,
And
I'm not all too sure that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing have the opponents and the dates for Shakur Stevenson at this particular point. You know what I'm saying?
Emphasis on the opponents.
Real quick, wanted to see
I can see that.
Another brother in here. Hope it looks like he might be out and about. Of course, it's the host of Brunch Boxing in the building. Brother Matt is here, man. Matt,
Finally, the Matt has come back.
Why so hot?
Hey, how you guys
Mad
doing, man?
hot.
Listen,
Yo.
I was just listening in to your show, and did I hear that right? Eddie Hearn is the best promoter in boxing.
Yo, blasphemy. Blasphemy.
No, the reason why I'm saying that, you guys got to understand. Right now, in this 2024, he's the best active promoter in boxing. He's keeping his guys active. You can't tell me what he's not doing with Ryder season. All of those guys getting paid. You can't tell me that's not helping out with
Why are you
boxing.
attributing Ryder season to Eddie Hearns?
Huh?
Why are you attributing Ryder season to Eddie Hearns?
He's in partnership with them. He's in partnership with them.
That's mostly Frank Warren, actually.
No, it's not. It's actually Eddie Hearns that's a part of. Hold on, it's actually a part of Eddie Hearns, because Eddie Hearns was the one that was able to get Deontay Wilder to get that. How do you think that whole 5-on-5 came about? It wasn't just Frank Warren, it was Eddie Hearns. And before Frank Warren was the one doing that, Eddie Hearns was the one that was sending guys over there from Matchroom. They have a partnership and a deal. That's how Ryder season. That's how Ryder season. That's hold on, my brother. I'm gonna give you the floor. I'm gonna give you the floor. I'm gonna give you the floor respectfully.
But you're giving misinformation. Eddie Hearn had to deal with Skills Challenge, which is now defunct. Skills Challenge was replaced by Turkey Al-Sheikh. It was Frank Warren who started doing business with Turkey Al-Sheikh. And then they brought Eddie Hearn into the fold after Frank Warren was the one that started doing business with them already. So what you're saying is wholly inaccurate.
You done? You done? Because I gave you the floor respectfully and you cut me off. So I just want to know if you done.
I don't want to give the people misinformation.
No. You could have said what you said respectfully, besides just disrespectfully cutting me off. But I'm gonna give you the floor. Go ahead, because I'm not gonna get into a debate and argument over. Go ahead, you talk, my brother. You go ahead.
Complete misinformation. Now, if you want to, wave the pom poms for Eddie, saying that he's doing good for his fighters, that's great. But say he's the best promoter in the game, then you have to show me the huge events that Eddie Hearn put on. Did he put on Canelo versus Munguia? No. Did he put on Zoo versus Fundora? No. Did he put on Tank versus Frank Martin? No. Is he putting
Did he put up Inoue versus Neri? No.
Exactly. Is he putting on that Virgil Ortiz card that everybody's excited about? No.
Fury versus Usyk?
No. Where's the events? When I
he gave us Boots versus Amnesia.
Yeah, when I hear best promoter, I'm thinking about great events for the fans. That's what I'm thinking about when I hear best promoter. Because all that other shit, we don't make a dime off of that. But we like to be entertained, and I like to be entertained. So he didn't put on Haney versus Garcia. That was Oscar De La Hoya that did that. So point me to the big events that Eddie Hearn put on this year that makes him, quote unquote, the best promoter. Now I'm done.
Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
I'm not gonna keep talking, bro, because I'm about ethics, and I'm just gonna keep it respectful. I'm gonna keep it respectful for your platform, bro. I'm gonna keep it respectful for your platform.
Then just leave the show. Then I'm not gonna talk. What are you, a baby? Like, what are we doing?
No. Bro, I'm letting you talk, bro. But here's the thing. Well, one thing we're not gonna do. You're not gonna disrespect me when I gave you utmost respect, my brother. That's what we're not gonna do. And I gave you the utmost respect, and I was willing to giving you a chance to talk, but you want to come in here like you Debo and try to run shit and disrespect my brother's platform. Plain and simple. I was letting you talk. Me and the other brother on here was speaking without no disrespect. We was letting each other get off what we had to say in a respectful manner. You want to
know
come
what?
on here with some hostile big boy
Maybe
shit.
we all
Now, if
need
you
a
had
prayer.
information, that you wanted to say, by all means, go ahead and say that. I'm willing to let you go ahead and say that respectfully. Because if
Let's
I was
pray.
wrong, I can admit, oh, you know what? I might have been wrong on that information. But
Can
to
we
come and
pray?
call and all that, crying, baby, bro, I'm a grown ass man. That name calling shit, that shit don't fly with me, bro. So you could cut all that out. We're gonna keep it respectful, or you could keep it. You don't say nothing else to me about the situation, and
Yo,
I'm gonna
can
keep it like that.
can
Let
we
me
pray?
know.
Yo,
Say I don't believe in prayer, stability in the black community, through God, all peace to be achieved.
Come on, Zoe. All right, let me add in another guest in here. Part of the thing here. Ezra is in the building. What's going on, Ezra?
How's it going, fellas? I feel like I walked into something heated, but yeah, I'm here to bring a positive energy to this. I want to bring
Thank you,
positive.
my brother. Keep the positivity, because we ain't on no bullshit in here.
Hey, yo, Ezra, I'll be following you
Yo,
on Twitter. Your scorecard sucks.
man, what's going on? Which one you got a problem with? I'll defend it right here. Which
Come
one do
on,
you have
man.
an issue with?
See, Ezra, I told you there are multiple people that be
I'm
criticizing
telling you,
the scorecards, man.
I am glad to change people's minds on how they score fights. I am very glad we could bring a revolution. I am very happy about that.
Your scorecards fucking suck.
Which one? Give me the one. I'll tell you. We can argue it right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find them. I'm gonna
Go
go
find it.
find.
Go find the one you don't
I'm
like, and
gonna
I'll
go.
tell you
I'm
why
gonna go
you're
see
wrong.
it.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
gonna
Zoe will find it. He will
I
definitely
want him
find
to. I
it.
really do.
He will definitely find it. Going back to this whole thing with Shakur Stevenson. Number one, my thing is like, why are you going after a fighter that's about like 2 divisions lower than you are? That's basically giving you constructive criticism, and then you want to bring up something that was like in the past, as far as like, hey, maybe y'all should have, went ahead and had a sparring session or something like that. Like you want to bring up sparring stories, you know what I mean? And I just don't understand that whole particular approach to Shakur Stevenson on that front. Now, if you
I
want to go
understand. It's
ahead,
just not effective.
if you want to go ahead and you want to be, a villain, so to speak, there's pretty much a way to do that. But like going after every single person that, may have some type of, influence or effect on your career, I'm not all too sure if that's a good route, So that's where, I kind of like say, hey, like you could slow down on that. I don't know. Maybe it's almost to the direction of, a fighter that I won't necessarily mention, but other people will mention his name. But I'm not mentioning his name, ever since he, did a couple of things here over the past few weeks. So I ain't even bringing his name up. But outside of that, I like to see where he ends up. They say, I looked it up, something here. If I could pull it up, I saw that they were saying that the purse bid for the WBC will be coming up in August there for Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. So if they still say that it's still going to be, in effect up until August 20th, then I'll be like, hey, it's going to be a purse bid day. And there, like I said before, I would really like to see how much they would say Shakur Stevenson is basically worth with that 70-30 purse split, if it comes to that. You feel me?
I don't think Zepeda's really. I don't think they're gonna go pursue that for real.
You think it's still going to be that thing with Dennis Berinchik?
Yeah, man, because he sucks. So it's
He's trying to
natural.
get.
You suck. So you go after the garbage. You suck. So it
Well,
makes
the
it
thing
natural.
is, it's like you could do that, right? And say for example, you go after Dennis Berinchik, you would be the basically the A side to it. I mean, come on, you got your guy there in Golden Boy. He's gonna put up more money there for you than maybe Top Rank would for Berinchik if he's completely there with Top Rank, right? So why not just go ahead and go for that fight? You fight there, you win the belt, you win the WBO title, you bring more value to the table when you know go back into negotiations there with Shakur Stevenson, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. Shout out to Trill. He says 2 more days in reference to a certain fighter that is floating around the 175 and 168 pound divisions. And speaking of that particular fighter, looks like he had posted up that there's like a little meet and greet or something going down there on Saturday. That'll be over in Arizona, so that might, kind of like bring things up to a different thing here too. You know what I'm saying? So you do have that. Now, wait, someone else got something?
Well, you guys just named Braincheck. Why would Top Rank pay for the Braincheck Shakur fight? I mean, Shakur seems like he's done with Top Rank.
No, not Baranchyk Shakur. I'm talking about Baranchyk versus William Zepeda.
Oh, Braincheck versus Zepeda. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, if they're not going to get Shakur, Golden Boy's not going to make the Zepeda fight. I think we all know that. I think if they get their hands on Shakur, they'll make the fight.
Yeah. So that's the thing that's the thing that I'm kind of like seeing there with William Zepeda. If it's not going to be something where he's going to negotiate with Shakur Stevenson, then they're going to angle towards fighting Dennis Baranchyk, and that was the thing that Oscar was talking about earlier. It's like, hey, if I want Shakur Stevenson to fight William Zepeda, why can't I have Shakur Stevenson for 3 or 4 fights?
So what you're saying is that Golden Boy does not believe William Zepeda could beat Shakur, because last I checked, not signed with them either. So why would Shakur need to sign with them to fight Zepeda, but Baranchyk doesn't need to sign with them to fight Zepeda?
Maybe it's not about believing, but maybe it's just thinking it's a 50-50 fight, and the other one they feel like is 80-20. You know what I mean? So it's just the risk versus reward.
So they don't believe that he can beat Shakur.
Not 100%, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's number one. But number two was, like I was saying, are you willing to put up, or it looks like you feel like Shakur Stevenson would be more of a draw than William Zepeda would be in the long run. So you want to see if you can look for Stevenson.
That's what it is.
Multi-fight deal.
It's a sacrificial lamb. William Zepeda, if he was to sign that fight with Shakur beats him, he's gonna be no more useful to Oscar. Now he got his new face at 135 for his brand. So it's like a William Zepeda. He's a sacrificial lamb for Oscar. Honestly, because even though he can't say it, he knows deep down that De La Hoya knows deep down that Zepeda's skill sets is not going to be matched to Shakur's. So let me lock this kid in. Let me get what I can out of him, and let me push him as much as I can, and let's get as much money as we can together. And Zepeda be like that number 2, number 3 guy on the 135 list in his camp.
Now here's the thing too, with the WBO that I find interesting, and Juice just brought it up when it comes to this. It said the WBO released a podcast that suggested that Baranchyk will be fighting, quote unquote, the British Mark Chamberlain, and that Keyshawn Davis, I guess, gets to win. Mark Chamberlain is they're ranked currently at number 8 in the WBO, because I haven't seen them update their rankings as of yet. But I feel like that's pretty interesting, because Dennis Baranchyk had won a vacant title there for that WBO. So I thought that they would have had something set where whoever wins the vacant title faces the number 1 contender next, but I guess not. But yeah, if they had this whole thing set up with Baranchyk versus Mark Chamberlain, I think it's supposed to be part of like one of those Riyadh season cards or whatever it is. Then what for William Zepeda? I guess this has to be the route. Feel me? So that's why I got out of that, right? Next up, I guess we had something else there with Keyshawn Davis. He's going after 2 particular lightweights. One, of course, is the WBA lightweight champion, the quote-unquote face of boxing, or the new face of boxing, until Matt, fights him in the ring. Gervonta Tank Davis. And, actually, this is stemming from a couple of weeks ago when Keyshawn Davis said that he would like to fight Tank Davis. And now, he had went on, I think it was Mill City Boxing, there with Coach Kenny Ellis. And, we had Gilly on there this time around where, Keyshawn Davis, told Coach Kenny Ellis, did Tank Davis tell you why, that I wanted to fight him? And he was like, nah, but he's like, well, you need to get at him because I guess it was something, internally that Tank was talking about that kind of got Keyshawn, pretty much tipped to that particular way. Because he said, look, I looked up to Tank Davis. I respected Tank Davis, had nothing but good things to say about Tank. And then just, basically tipped him off to where he says, hey, and now I want that smoke with Tank Davis. And then he also added that, okay, if Tank Davis had his last fight against Frank Martin, which was a potential opponent for Keyshawn Davis, he's like, hey, maybe I'm at the point where I could go ahead and, fight Tank Davis. So, that kind of stems from, a couple of things there that Keyshawn Davis was talking about. But the other thing too was that Keyshawn kind of dismissed Abdullah Mason because Coach Kenny Ellis said that, the hottest lightweight coming up is Abdullah Mason. So I thought that kind of bothered Keyshawn Davis there a little bit. And I
definitely did.
And I think a number of folks have kind of bought into the stock of Abdullah Mason more than they were buying into the stock of Keyshawn Davis, at least up to this particular point. So it's like, hey man, I don't know if it's like a little bit of jealousy or whatever it is there with Keyshawn Davis, but I feel like right now he's in a good enough position to where one or two fights he would be in position to fight for a world title. So why would he be worried about Abdullah Mason at this particular point?
And you know what it is? I think what it comes down to was with people where they are drawn to Abdullah a little bit more than Keyshawn. He's a humble assassin. So he's quiet. He don't talk much. He does all his performances speak for itself. And he's getting better as you see his fights come along. And he's the youngster on the block. I don't know why Keyshawn is feeling like this. Maybe he feels like Top Rank may be trying to promote him a little bit more. They're giving him more of a push and a buzz. I don't know. But it's just a whole competitive thing where I just feel like, he's a young black man, young king coming up like you. Yo, uplift him, give him some knowledge on the game. Don't knock him down. But, Keyshawn gets in that realm like he wants to be. Nobody can't say nothing unless it's his name. It's just blasphemous. Like, bro, people are gonna say who they like. They're gonna speak of other fighters that they like. And if your name don't come up, it's not. Don't be mad about it. It's just people's opinion. And certain people like certain styles, and certain people like certain things in certain fighters.
But they fight the same way, though, right?
Yeah, they fight 135.
They don't need to be friends, man. I
Yeah,
have
they
no
don't need
problem
to
knock everyone down that ain't in your weight class. The whole problem with them is that he was too friendly to begin with Shakur. He was way too friendly. I hate that. Then the two guys, I'm never gonna fight him. Eliminate two guys, two good fights. Be unfriendly as possible as you can. If you got a new guy coming up and you feel like he's a threat to something, knock him down and let him earn it then. And then they can match up. That's something we can talk about now. That's a matchup that I would like to see in the future. And now we're building it up. So I don't need them to be friendly. I don't need them to do anything. They're in the same weight class. They're enemies in my book.
I see that.
Now, this goes to Matt's point a couple of weeks ago, leading into the fights that, happened, the previous weekend at over there in Newark. And then, what happened last weekend, I don't know where it was, like California or something like that there, where you had they also included Teofimo Lopez. You got Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Raymond Murataya, all on separate cards. They're not fighting each other, and they're all in the same promotional group. How do you not match these guys up?
That's who I think Keyshawn should be fighting Honestly, that should be the next fight for Keyshawn. Keyshawn fighting Ray Mortala.
They
That
don't
would
even
be a good
talk
fight.
about that. They don't,
Well,
they don't talk about Mortala versus Keyshawn. Don't talk about Mortala versus Stevenson. They have no plans with these dudes at all, bro.
Nah, they definitely don't, and they don't talk about one fight that he should fight, and because he just actually did an interview and called him out and was talking about him was Andy Cruz. Keyshawn does not mention that dude's name. I think I seen one interview, and after that, it's nothing else about Andy Cruz. And Andy Cruz told him, "I beat you 4 times." I know he said, "I beat you multiple times. You my son. I'll beat you again."
Yeah, he gotta go see about him.
yeah, I mean, like all these, all these other fights in the past in the amateurs where fighters had got the better of one particular fighter, they still ended up fighting in the pros. So
And Henry Tillman beat Tyson twice. We see how that shit worked out.
yeah, so I mean, you had something like that on that front. So why not go ahead and make that fight happen?
For what? We're talking about practice. I mean, here's the thing: Savannah Marshall built her entire career off of beating Clarissa Shields one
Still,
time in the amateurs. Bro, nobody cares about Andy Cruz, and no one's gonna turn Andy Cruz into a thing.
wait,
Keyshawn should be fighting Frank Martin next. That's the fight I want to see. Keyshawn versus Frank Martin. Slap that on Tank versus Loma undercard, and let's get it going.
I would
That's what we need to see.
I wouldn't mind seeing Keyshawn show the world that Frank Martin's mid. I wouldn't mind that shit.
Hey man, you can say Frank Martin mid, but let's see how it go. Like
Yeah, I would pay
I
for
like
that.
to fight my fights in the ring instead of on paper.
I know.
Keyshawn looked good against less than stellar
Yo,
competition.
I'm not trying to pivot your show real quick. I just had to say something. Yo, Matt, I need you to mail me a steak, for that bet. You feel me? I need you
I
to mail
got
me a
you,
big
man.
tomahawk steak. I'm in Iowa now.
A
Big tomahawk.
tomahawk.
Yeah.
Come on,
oh
man.
my God.
Because at first I started off like every Wilder post you made, my appetite just got more expensive because you was unsufferable during Wilder's run. So this is my way to get back. I need a tomahawk steak.
Oh man, come on. Now, I get that would be an interesting matchup there, Keyshawn versus Frank Martin. I wouldn't mind that fight at all. But also there could be someone else who could like be there in Keyshawn's place to face Frank Martin. That
Chris
could
Colbert.
no. You know what? Okay, I don't like that. I'm saying this, but
He fights next week, don't he? Now he fights next
no,
month,
no,
right?
no, no. He fights next month against Nahir Albright.
On Gilly's card.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Um.
Come on.
Oh shoot, he's still fighting.
He's still fighting. Um. Okay, I'll just say I don't know if he's gonna be able to beat Nahir Albright. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I don't know if he will. I'll just put it that way. Okay.
Damn.
All right. Now,
No source. Come on, man. You can't do that. You got to be truthful. Just put it out there on your platform. Who gonna win the fight? Don't sugarcoat it, bro. Don't sugarcoat it.
If Chris Colbert loses, Chris Colbert will be, for me, he'll be my generation Audley Harrison. That's the last time I was this fucking wrong about somebody. Was
okay,
Audley
wait a
Harrison
minute, wait a
for
minute.
that shit.
Okay, if
Because
it's
Albright last fight who he fought Keyshawn, right? That was the
yeah,
last fight that he had, and him and he looked interesting. I won't say he gave Keyshawn
he gave
trouble.
Keyshawn some
He
work a little bit,
Keyshawn was
he
high.
looked interesting to
but
Keyshawn.
That
So
don't count. That don't count. Keyshawn was high that fight.
uh,
he was probably high like 7, 8 fights before in his career. So he still got the dubs.
yeah.
So yeah, if Chris Colbert lose this fight, I don't know.
You said to be bold. Fuck it. I will pick
Come
the
on,
hero right. I'll do
come
it.
on, Riddick Bowe. There we go.
I'll pick the Hero Albright to win it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Hero Albright. How about that? Oh man, but um, Shakur Stevenson though, what if he picks off Frank Martin and fights him under a PBC card?
Oh, I would love that too. That would be great.
That'd be interesting.
Shakur versus anybody we care about would be a
Now,
great fight.
are you saying if Shakur does fight Frank Martin, are you saying that Shakur was signed to PBC, or would this be sort of like a free agency type situation where he'll
Why would
tell him
I don't think that. No,
why
the
would
thing
PBC
is, I
sign
don't
for
think
one
he's
fight just
going
for
to win
Frank?
this time around.
that he'll do two or three fights? Now that'll make the Tank fight a lot more easier.
Mm-hmm. But I
Okay,
think it could get
I
to
could see
7.
that.
That's why I see the route.
I could see that.
I mean, I see where
Especially
the angle could go with the whole thing with Shakur with Floyd Mayweather. But you would still be able to make the money by just signing Shakur yourself. And who else is Floyd Mayweather going to offer to Shakur Stevenson there in the interim?
Rolly.
Oh my God!
yeah,
That means
And a catch
he got
weight.
to go up to 140. Rolly not going back down to 35.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. A Trill says, "Let's wait and see who bids on the 20th." That's what I want. I want to see if it goes to purse bid, and then we actually see who is actually going to bid on that particular fight. There with that 70-30 split, and how much money they're going to put up. Zoe was talking about $5 million, man. Hey, man, I don't know.
That's
dog.
it.
I don't know.
Are we sure it's going to go to purse bid? Are we sure that Zepeda is going to follow through with this fight in the first place?
If it ain't with Golden, if Shakur ain't with Golden Boy, Zepeda's gonna fall through this fight.
Oh, okay.
Well, but here's the thing though with Zepeda, as mentioned earlier, like if the thing with the WBO is confirmed that Dennis Berinchik is fighting Mark Chamberlain, then you can't necessarily have Zepeda go after the WBO title. So then what else does he do?
Also, Berichick fighting Chamberlain would be unforgivable. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be in our soil. That's not our problem.
Yeah, it's not our problem, but hey, it is what it is. But I don't know. Wait a minute, who's that dude? That Canadian dude, Chan Thomson. Is he with Golden Boy or goddamn Lou DiBella? I gotta find that out if he's with Lou DiBella still.
Wait, hold up.
Huh?
Hypothetically, if Shakur signs like a 3-fight deal with Golden Boy, it'll be what? Zepeda, a Floyd Schofield? Like, who's the third person?
You know what's funny about that? I think if he signs with Golden Boy, that Zepeda fight is not happening first.
The Floyd Schofield fight first, isn't it?
I think they'll probably give him some name that we don't really care about.
Yeah,
Jojo
Schofield
Diaz.
fight happens.
they'll pull out Jojo Diaz from the.
Nah, JoJo retired, man. Please don't put that fight together. Please no.
They're gonna pull him up from the ashes.
JoJo was done.
Floyd Schofield is I think he's recovering from some
They
injury.
might do a Duarte fight. Maybe a Duarte fight.
Oscar Duarte. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nah, man. We don't need Shakur. We don't need Shakur Nafees Shahid Stevenson in fights that people with opponents that people don't care about. Like Matt said, like, come on, we got to do better now.
Well, I mean, the weight is not deep. It's not a deep weight. So every promotion only has one guy, basically. I mean, everywhere he goes, he's only got one guy.
Kind of. But I mean, in Shakur Stevenson, he's the one that said, "Hey, I perform better against guys of a higher caliber." Okay, cool. Let's see you prove it against someone like a Frank Martin, a Tank Davis, William Zepeda, or maybe outside chance Lomachenko. I don't know, but we got to see it.
That's a cop-out answer to me.
Well, he goes PBC, it's Tank, right? That's an obvious fight. He goes to Golden Boy. It's Zepeda.
Hold on. No. Tank is the big fight, but they still have Frank Martin also. Let's not pretend like they don't have Frank Martin.
Okay. Frank Martin's okay. That's an okay fight, but it's not. I don't think that's like a really big fight, but it's okay fight. But let's say that's the guy though, right?
Oh my god.
So then you got Zepeda. Then you go to Matchroom. Who do they have? Who would be their guy for him? Nobody, right? You would have to build. They would have to hope that they sign Haney, and then they build Shakur at 140, right? They eventually move him to 140, and then they build that fight up. So everywhere he goes, it's one guy basically. Now you could throw in the Frank Martin. That's an okay fight. You know, it's not a big fight, but it's okay.
A big fight. It's a big fight for Shakur.
I don't think it is. I mean, as far as what do you mean? Like it's going to sell pay-per-views? Or what is a big fight?
I don't think a Frank Martin fight would be on pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not really a big fight.
Zepeda won't be on pay-per-view either.
Yes, it will.
It won't be on pay-per-view either.
Yes, it will.
Oh,
Zepeda will be on pay-per-view. Yes,
No, it won't, bro.
Nah, that fight won't be on pay-per-view.
Okay.
You got a better chance of seeing Frank Martin fight.
All right.
Zepeda still fighting these small ass Martin, man.
So how much do you think for them to get in the ring? What do you think they have to get paid each guy?
Who? Shakur and who?
Shakur Zepeda. What do you think they have to get paid to get in the ring?
Less than Shakur and Frank Martin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you have to pay Zepeda what, $2 million?
What?
To get in the ring?
No.
Oh, nah, then let me tell you something right now. Then if that doesn't take the Zepeda has bad business if they get in the ring for less than $2 million. I'll tell you that right now. That's bad business.
How much did Edwin De Los Santos get?
Edwin De Los Santos doesn't have any hype. He was just a guy thrown in there. There's no hype.
No, after how much money did he get?
Well, here's my thing in reference.
I think he got like close to $1 million, I think.
Let's see. Hold on.
Source. Can I just point out one thing? You got to remember when you're looking at the two opponents that Shakur would have, he would either have a Frank Martin or he would have Zepeda, right? Frank Martin, regardless of him getting knocked out by Tank, he competed. His stock is up there now, way more than Zepeda right now.
I know.
Because he competed with the guy.
No,
so you got to understand now, even though it might not seem pay-per-view to some people would see as a Frank Martin fight Shakur than they would more than as a William Zepeda, because what has Zepeda really done on his side of the fence, who he's fought, even though Frank Martin might not have done much to everybody on his side with PBC, he still fought Tank. And he competed against Tank. You know what I'm saying?
To piggyback off of that, you gotta realize Tank fan base are retarded. So anybody who wins 2 or 3 rounds against Tank immediately becomes the second best fighter in the division. So that by default makes it a big fight because Tank fans are retarded. You always gotta add that into the equation.
Here we go.
No, you gotta remember too. That's not true because you gotta remember everybody that's fought Tank. Look at how their stock value has gone up. Tank fought Rolly. He got a title shot at 140.
That's what I said.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, that's the Tank fans are. I'm just saying the reason it happens because Tank fans are retarded. Then their brain, in order to justify those fights being somewhat competitive, they have to pretend these guys are superstars, and they end up becoming quasi superstars because of retardation.
But is that the fans or is that more so for the promoters?
It's the retarded fans. They retarded, bro. Right, the night after the Frank Martin fight, they said Frank Martin's the second best 135 pounder. These people are
that ain't quite it. Matt, go ahead, but I'm going to add something on to this.
So here's my thing: if you look at the guys Tank fought, his resume is aging pretty well. That has nothing to do with the fans.
Man, fuck out of here. Man, fuck out of here. Send me 2 tomahawks. Send me 2 tomahawks for that.
Hold on.
Did the fans make Mario Barrios beat Yordenis Ugas, or did Mario Barrios do that in the ring? Did the fans make Isaac Cruz pick up a legit 140 belt, or did that happen in the ring?
Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Let's holler at it. Let's talk because I know MVO, man. I know how you operate, and I know you smirking because you know you're fucking trolling with this narrative you created.
He's not a Tank fan. I've been through this already, so we already know he's not a fan of Tank.
Listen. That fraudulent that whole lineage of WBA shit is fraudulent. This nigga Rolly fought a 97-year-old for a 97-year-old, the final slave. The final slave, he fought that guy and barely won, and then that was a robbery. We all know he didn't win that shit. That was a robbery. That's how he got the belt. And Rolly sucked, and then Isak Cruz went up and beat him. Whoop the fucking do. If that's what you call aging well, whoop the fucking do, nigga.
Hey, listen. Anybody could parse resumes when it comes to guiding someone to a belt. I saw Shakur Stevenson argue with someone talking about, I fought for a world title when I was young. Dude, you fought for a world title against Joet Gonzalez. Nobody gives a fuck about that. So anybody could be guided to a belt. That is a promoter's job. That is a promoter's job.
He also beat. Listen. I don't want to disrespect you guys. I don't want to disrespect your eyes and your boxing IQ, but I am. You feel me? I have had enough debates with you guys over the years to know you guys don't understand what you guys are watching. So when you talk about skills of who's better, I can't take it seriously.
Well, my whole thing is that right or wrong. We could just put it this way: whether you didn't like the guy or not, whether you don't, however your opinion is on Tank. My thing that I was saying is, after anyone who's fought him, their value has gone up. So when it's time to come to the table for them to negotiate their next fight, title fight, whatever it is, their stock has risen. So that's all I'm saying.
I never disagree with that.
That's all I'm saying with Frank Martin with the whole Zepeda thing. That bag is going to be a little bit more than what Zepeda's going to get, and it's going to look better on Shakur's resume to fight a guy like that because he's the closest to getting what Shakur wants is Tank. That's just that's all I'm saying.
I think Tank Davis is the face of boxing, and that's partly due to the fact that a lot of people are retarded. But the fact is, he's still the face of boxing. But it's because niggas is retarded, though.
But
two things can exist.
Hold on, because you brought up this thing in reference to Tank Davis as far as like resume or whatever it is, and one of the counterpoints is because look at the fighters that he's defeated and what they've done after he's beaten them. Now, Zoe, you have a fighter that is ranked in the pound for pound top 10, pretty much the pound for pound top 5 in the same position that I have in my boxing source pound for pound top 10 in Naoya Inoue. And the thing with Inoue is, one of the things with Inoue is that a number of the people that he has defeated have gone on to win world championships after they fought Naoya Inoue. The same case here with Gervonta Tank Davis. So why is it that it's different for Tank Davis than it is for Naoya?
Okay. When Ryo Gucci won a title, when Donia won a title, did they beat a 97-year-old man in the fraudulent conditions? Did that happen like that? And then did that same person who you others said won that bout, other person won a title, got the title by beating the guy who won the title fraudulently? That's what you're basing your whole case off. Because Hector Garcia lost to fucking bum-ass Lamont Roach. That nigga suck. I know you interview him a lot, but you know that nigga suck. He beat. That's what Hector Garcia lost to. This is the guy we hyping up, bro. Like, let's be for real. Use your damn eyes.
All right, hold up, Zoe. Before you continue, I gotta add in one more guest, because this is a very, very special guest. The person hasn't been in here in a long time. He has been called out numerous times over the past few weeks, but now he has graced us with his presence.
Please don't let it be what I think it is.
Y'all know who it is. Come on,
damn it. Finally.
There goes
Finally.
One of the smartest minds on YouTube.
Property taxes just went down. Just went up.
Oh man, everybody dogging me.
Oh shit.
Pause.
Oh man.
Yo.
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
What's up, boys? Academic.
Not much, man. Been ripping and running, man. Just been hadn't been watching boxing too much, so I still gotta watch the Boots fights.
I'm disappointed in you. I felt like you see, look at a dude like Matt. Matt, he went through some heartbreak, but he still pushed on and kept it going for boxing. I felt like you didn't do the same. I felt like when Wilder lost, you abandoned us. Matt stayed 10 toes down and he suffered through it. I felt like you left boxing when Wilder left. And I don't know, that kind of hurts me, bro.
Damn, I never thought about it like that.
No, I think he's saying that Matt should basically impeach you as the vice president of the Deontay Wilder fan club.
I'm still 10 toes down. I just,
No, you could be. Listen, you could take over that fan club. I'm done.
Oh no, NVO, you.
Hey, listen, man. Certain things I can't support. I ain't gonna talk about it on here.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, hey, leave it at that.
I'm good.
Leave it at that.
I'll take over the fan club.
Yeah, do that.
Shit ain't what it seemed. Shit ain't what it seemed until you actually get
Okay.
all the facts.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
All right.
These hoes are scandalous.
Yeah. So
these hoes are scandalous.
I know what you talk about, and I don't think I don't know. I actually feel like Wilder's the victim here. To be honest, I'm not gonna get too deep in it. That's what I'm gonna say. But I think Wilder's the victim here.
We're getting off the rails here, fellas. We're getting off
we get off the rails, man. You know.
Hey, listen. All right.
Wait. Do we have a date for Charlo's rematch yet?
No. I don't know what you're talking about with Charlo, man.
You don't have a rematch? They ain't signed a date for a rematch? That shit didn't go to purse bid yet?
Rematch with who?
With his wife.
See?
What are we doing?
Lord.
Come on, man. I'm trying to keep this chin up, yo. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Academic, man.
He wanted me to ask him that so he could say that exact thing.
He tried to do the layup there on that. Academic, you joining in here, man. We're talking about the whole thing there with Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. I don't know if you've been following any of that or whatever, man. You had any thoughts on that?
I haven't been following it, but what I will say is that the Shakur fight was not very interesting. It happened around like 12 a.m. And I don't think they were doing him a favor as in his promotional company, as well as himself, with the style of fight. You got to have that type of style earlier if that's how you're going to fight, not keep people up at like 12 a.m. He's an exceptional fighter, but I get more irritated when it's 12 a.m. and I got to like pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like tell myself to pay attention harder. Mm-hmm. Exceptional fighter, but it's just they need to do better with the timing, man. That's not cool. But between whatever beef between him and whatever his name is, I really don't care. So I'll let somebody else speak on it.
I think I already said this earlier. I'm not 100% sure. I think Shakur's trying to go the WWE villain route. He's just trying to lead into being a villain. I think he's just going all in with that shit. It might work out, bro. People might just hate him so much you pay for it.
I agree with you. I think he's just trying to go that route. I also feel like he's like F New York because Cam and May's situation, and now Shushu's the next in line. So, he didn't like what it was said. He's going out a couple of people.
That's true because I'm from across the water. Y'all niggas do be hating on us like for no reason. We don't even be bothering y'all niggas. Y'all niggas just be hating on us on some weirder shit. But that is true. So I can see where Shakur's coming from.
So he coming from on that aspect, and I also think he's trying to play the villain, and I think he's trying to find his lane on how to play the villain, and he's doing it more so off the social media aspect, and it's like anybody in line getting hit, they getting hit. So it's like whatever mood he feel like he waking up in, we gonna talk about next. That's who it is because I'm not sure if you guys saw Roy Jones. Roy Jones gave him constructive criticism. And it was no difference than what
Shushu did.
What Shushu did, what Timothy Bradley did, what Andre Berto did.
Nah.
Timothy Bradley, Bradley, I know what you're going to probably say, my brother Zoe. Timothy Bradley has been going up and down. And it is because I think Shakur is not part of them anymore. But with Andre Berto, with Berto and with and Andre Ward and these guys, they've been giving constructive, positive criticism, showing love. And Shushu, I've been around the dude. I know his pops and his team. He's a cool, respectful dude. What you see is what you get. He always showed love. He just gave his insight what he think is going to be entertaining, but he also said, you know, you got to pick your poison with fights. And then it just, I don't think he liked what he heard, and he heard what he wanted to hear, and it just sparked from there. You know, you're in the game where you want to get this big money. Now he wants to get to this realm where he wants to get the big money, like we discussed earlier. He's getting in his career now where the belts is cool, but the bag is where he really, really want to get the big bags. And you can't do that with having these little situations where everything is gonna spark you. Take certain things, work on it. You know what I'm saying? And have tough skin. You from Newark, bro. I got family from Newark. You got to have a tougher skin than that. You making Newark look bad being soft like this.
Man, man. New York niggas do be overly critical on us. That's all it is. He just attacking the weird ass New York niggas. That's all it is.
Dog,
I didn't even think about that angle.
It's weird because people are being honest. Y'all got to be real with him too. Y'all Jersey dudes got to hold him accountable, bro. Like, stop sugarcoating his bullshit. If he's not doing what he got to do, yo, keep it real with him. Y'all got to say that too, because at the end of the day, y'all pay y'all money. Just like everybody from wherever city, wherever state, or wherever country, we all pay our money to see him. And if he's not doing what he got to do, hold him accountable. He don't need a bunch of yes men in his corner. He don't need yes men.
For a dude like me, for a boxing fan like me, what I pay money to see Shakur do is exactly what I wanted him to, is exactly what he's doing. That's just my personal thing. And I understand that not everybody. I understand, you know, because that's why I don't really get mad when people talk about if his fights is born, you don't want to pay for it. Cool. That's not your thing. You feel me? I personally like that shit. Me, I don't want to see Rody fight. I don't want to see Wilder throw windmills. You feel? That's not entertaining. I like to see boxing. But everybody got their own personal thing. You feel? I don't want to see Tank stare at somebody for 5 rounds before he decided to throw a punch. I don't like watching that shit either, but whatever. You feel me?
Right.
Like, it's all to each his own. But to me, I care about the results, not the results like what the judges said. If my eyes said you won, that's all I care about. You feel me? Your performance in the ring. You feel me? I don't care about entertaining shit is cool and all that shit, but I'm winning, like, I'm looking for the bread and potatoes. Is this nigga nice or is he not nice? You feel me? That's what I'm looking for.
But that
so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, bro.
Real quick, bro. That could be the angle with Shakur, though. Like, if he's gonna be the villain, like, you could have it to where, hey, listen, I don't have to win by a knockout. I don't have to, you know, really sell on him. All I have to do is win. You know, that's basically what he's been saying. All you have to do is win. You know?
And you know what? Me and you talked about the source. He don't have to be a knockout artist. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shakur don't have the hands to be a knockout artist. You know what Shakur have the skill set to be though? Shakur got the skill set to be a TKO artist. He got the skill set to have a motherfucker quit on the stool or the corner throwing the towel. He has that, but he's not letting his hands go enough to show that. And that's where people are saying, yo, let your hands go a little bit more. You know, because to me, he's super talented. I've always said Shakur is nice, but I feel like he hinders and holding himself back with that skill set of not letting the hands go more.
I think the issue, like me and the staff, every time we watch this fight, we think he has this issue where he tries to deliver the shits too perfectly. Like, he won't let the punch go until the punch look too perfectly, and it turns into a Regan Dow style waiting games and shit. So I get what so I get what people say. Like, it's like he won't let this shit go. Like, man, sometimes just throw that shit. You feel me?
Thank you.
Everything Bud throws ain't technical. Sometimes he throws some shit that look wild, but niggas sometimes just gotta throw it, bro. You feel me? He be a little too interested in trying to land a picture perfect punch. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Me, I don't care because I can watch that shit. It's cool, nigga. I watch Regan Dow fights. I watched Regan Dow versus Casemiro 3 times.
Mm-hmm. And that style that Shakur is doing, that's that Olympic shit. That's that point system. It's like, let me get the precise shot so I can get points. And that's what's making his style look boring to people.
Man, I think
you say Rigondeaux, but Rigondeaux was the jawbreaker at one point. He was breaking motherfuckers' jaws.
I think Shakur's next fight, what he needs to do, he needs to fight the same way he fought Arturum. When the crowd start booing, he need to put his hands in the air, start celebrating, stick his tongue out, do all that shit, make these niggas blood boil, and that's what he needs to do. Just stick with it. to stick with this shit.
Nah, man. You said that you watched Guillermo Rigondeaux Casemiro 3 times.
Yes. The foot feints. The foot feints in that fight, man.
I get it. But come on,
Bro,
man.
I almost watched Fury Klitschko twice. Almost.
Oh, I've seen that a few times. That's a classic.
Oh, you sick.
Man. Oh, that's something, man. That's something. But yeah, I think Shakur, has the opportunity to, become that villain, I guess, that next super villain, so to speak, that, maybe, what Floyd Mayweather had been there when he faced Oscar De La Hoya and just rode that wave. So now Shakur Stevenson might have this opportunity. It just depends on how he angles this path from this point forward to see how he goes with that. But, as long as he, does it, I guess, a semi-respectable way, because he pretty much like went out the window with the respect already. So he has to get, gradually go back down to, getting a little bit more respectable, like how he did against when he was trying to get a fight with Lomachenko. Please, Lomachenko, give me a fight, please. Yeah. You run the fight against Devin Haney.
But you notice Shakur don't really be as disrespectful towards Tank and Loma as he is with everybody else. I guess it's because the fight brings more money, so he tries to be a little more cordial with them too.
I guess. Yeah, but it remains to be seen how that goes. But yeah, it's about 9-10 p.m. Eastern time. I had started a little bit late here with the midweek report, but was able to get this thing going and cracking, and had a full house here for this particular podcast. Shout out to Zog 3 Kings Boxing. Shout out to Fight Night Mo of 4 Corners Boxing. Shout out to Matt and Ezra, the supposed co-host of Brunch Boxing. Y'all check out the website.
Hold up. Before everybody leaves, can we agree that the 130-pound entire weight class, every last champion there sucked, but Lamont Roach might suck more than the average champion there? Do we all agree on that?
You might get an agreement from Matt on that, because he does not care one bit about the 130-pound division.
I don't think the division is good, but I actually think Lamont Roach is the best champion at 130.
Ah, man, that guy kind of stinks on ice, bro. That guy kind of sucks up his shit. I don't know, bro. That guy sucks up. He suck out of OnlyFans level to me, bro.
You're about to ruin my chances of having an interview with Lamont Roach.
They go your interview.
My words does not reflects the views of Boxing Source.
The Boxing Source.
It reflects the views of 3 Kings. We all feel this way. You suck. We will never give you an interview. You suck, nigga.
Oh my God. Remember, that's 3 Kings Boxing that said that, not the Boxing Source. Okay, 3 Kings Boxing. All right, so we got 3 Kings Boxing out here. Of course, Fight Night Mode, 4 Corners Boxing. You got Matt and Ezra of Brunch Boxing, and of course, you got the great boxing academic here that was part of the midweek report today. We will get back at it with the Boxing Source podcast on Sunday here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Planning on that. But I'll catch y'all later, man. Until next time, peace, y'all.